My Mercurial mercenaries! First things first, an unboxing. You're going to be happy about this unboxing because finally, it's my left arm. What do we have here? We have, you're going to like this, not a lot, decaffeinated coffee. I can finally get back to the decaffeinated coffee. Decaffeinated! However, I've already had 2 cups of caffeinated today. One made here and one shop bought. And you'll always find that a shop bought caffeinated coffee always gets you more like that. And it is only coffee. There's nothing else going on. It's only coffee, alright? I've just seen something on Facebook that I found quite interesting. Arthur Brown fixed a twisted guitar neck using a hairdryer. That's the sort of thing I could do with seeing a video about. But I am now safe in the knowledge that if I ever need a neck twisted, you are my go-to guy. Back to that song I was working on, where I came up with those chords and I was talking about falling down the stairs and doing all the weird vibrato. I come up with like a chord progression, I suppose you'd call it, arpeggiated chord progression. And just remember with this, you can come up with ideas which may seem very simple in their infancy, but just remember, later down the line you're going to layer it up. That layering can be as simple as bass and drums. And in a band, when you put, especially the bass guitar, doing some kind of counterpoint to the guitar, or just following it along the root note, AC/DC style, it can lift it. And what I tend to do is, I come up with something simple, and I've got all the options available to me in the world. I'm not confined anymore. I am the Mercurial number 6. I can do anything. If I want to sample the sound of a fish farting and layer that in, I will. I can, and I bloody well will. Ignore the sound of the washing machine. If you can hear the washing machine, it's just a washing machine. This is an arpeggio I came up with. Probably be good for the bridge of the song. Probably for the bridge. Something like this. A bit I like. There's something about the root note descending. Anyway, that just loops. I like the fact that when you set notes off against each other, so the fact that it goes and then it goes up, that's nice. But it's the end of the riff, the bit where it goes let's do that again, but with a bit of rhythm, bit of swing. And down, and keep going, down, and down. I mean, you could go down again. And then you need a 7-string guitar to go boom. And then you probably meet it back there, but an octave below, boom. That's where a bass guitar would come in handy, eh? Bum, 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 you know what I mean? You have to layer it up in your head and not necessarily play it. And that's what you get. Just, I don't want to hark back to the Beatles too much, but it's just because it's just been a recent thing I've been listening to. But when you listen to the tracks on this new 50th anniversary Sgt. Pepper CD, but that's the washing machine finishing, ignore that. On this new 50th anniversary Giles Martin remix of Sgt. Pepper, there is a second CD. And on the second CD you get to hear the songs. It beep beep, I don't know if you can hear that. This washing machine reminds me 5 times. It will do that beep sound 5 times. And I keep saying, what's wrong with once? Hello, I finished. What's wrong with that once for a washing machine? It'll do it again in a minute. There. Can you hear that? We've got another, 2 times for it to do it now? It's like, it's just constantly in the corner of the kitchen going, hello, I finished, hello. It's like, yes! On the second CD, you get to hear versions of it's doing it again. It's putting me off. Of the Sgt. Pepper songs before they were layered up. And the band's just playing them. So you haven't got this is a bum dum jam dum where you've usually got dum dum jam da 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 dum da 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 bum 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 bum. You just got dum dum jam dum 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 chat dum 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 chat dum 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 chat. It's like Paul McCartney was saying to the rest of the band, don't worry about it. This sounds boring here, yeah? But I'm going to layer it up with all sorts of shit on top. And at the end, it's going to be magnificent. And the king of doing that, it's doing it. Is that the 5th time? And Brian Wilson was the, I don't know, like, I'm doing this now, it's because I'm genuinely itching there. But what's going to happen now is I'm going to have a big red mark here. Yeah, see that? Brian Wilson on Pet Sounds. He was telling people to play like a bass harmonica or whatever. He was just telling people to play. And what you've got is lines intertwining. Yeah? I mean, I'm going to have a red mark here now as well. I'm not picking my nose, I'm just scratching next to it. Seinfeld style. And he knows, only the person who's writing the song really knows what the end result will be. And I've had it in the past as well, where not necessarily, Brian Wilson would be telling session musicians what to play, and they'd be playing like a single line. So you'd have someone coming in with a kazoo and going, you know, woo! And Brian Wilson would go, yes, that's perfect. And they just think, where's the context? What did I just do? But in the final mix, with everything else in on top, and the whole orchestra, it just comes together. And I've done that in the past on songs. I've gone in and I've done this and I've done that, and the producer, this is in the early days when I used to have producers, and the producer would say to me, what I don't understand what you're doing here. Mercurial number 6. I don't understand what you're doing here. How is this? And I'd be like, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry for the minute about how this fits in with the final picture. I know the final picture. And in my head I can hear it. And it's perfect. And they'd say to me quite often, there was a big song I had once where quite a few people in the process of recording it said to me, you're playing the wrong note. In that, you're playing the wrong note. That note that you're playing on that keyboard isn't even in the scale of the song. And I would say, you don't understand. Wait till you hear the final piece. It'll all make sense. It will make sense. And that's the thing with these. So I can play this, you know. Let's just turn the volume up. It would help, wouldn't it? It might be as simple as just loop around, and you might watch that and you might be so used to watching other guitar players on YouTube videos who are just, you know, doing all this all this stuff. And you might think, where does that fit in? Well, the final picture will be, that won't be it, will it? That won't just be it. I'm not sure what the layers are going to be at the moment, but you can guarantee there will be layers. And sometimes you have to think in terms of layers. And like I say, that can apply to bands as well. Let's not think this is some sort of esoteric solo songwriter producer bullshit. If you're in a band with just bass and drums, there's power to be had from playing very little, from doing the power chord root note thing, the Black Sabbath thing. There's total power there in everybody in the band just playing the same things together. You can even have the singer singing the same melody, Black Sabbath style. And there's something to be said for the guitar and the bass just doing that. So you can have that power and you can have that. And both work. Kind of lost my point here. My point here is just, don't be afraid to come up with ideas, and don't be afraid to keep it simple. Don't be afraid to keep it simple. It may be that something you do that's simple gives you ideas to layer something on top. Even if what I lay on top is just something dead simple. Just like a hum. Because you can get simple layered with simple, and it can come together, and it can, if I could reach my heart, you know what I mean? Just a hum. Do you know what I mean? There's a point there somewhere. Don't be afraid of keeping it simple, because simple can eventually be complicated. Over and out.